Hey guys, so you may have noticed that there have been highlight videos getting uploaded to the channel lately, and as you can tell, I watch all of them because they bring me joy. So what happened is it's kind of started with the Brigitte video, which is that I had a big Brigitte moment in Overwatch that was just baffling, and I had to like go back and check out what happened and then make a video out of it, and it was just kind of a fun moment there. And then I just was like, you know what? I should just like upload a highlight video. Like this should be a common thing. So I haven't uploaded that many highlight videos. If you go further down this playlist, they get significantly older really quickly. But I really like the idea of uploading highlight videos, and so I wanted to do that more often. I've kind of arbitrarily picked my rate of upload as being every other day because for some reason every single day felt like it was like too frequent, and I imagine that before eventually we'll like run out of easy to think of highlights from the past, and so like if we blow them all out too fast, then it'll be we'll just run out too quickly. But also it felt like every other day might be too many highlight videos. But at the same time, I kept making so many highlight videos that I didn't want to go slower than that, because then it would quickly balloon out to being like, and they're already backlogged to February. So every other day has been my rate so far. And their audience submitted and things that I just remember. In fact, sometimes people will remind me of something and then I'll make the highlight out of that. But then that'll remind me of other highlights from that game because of like connected memories. And so I'll go make additional highlights when they come to mind and so on. But yeah, this has been like the recent burst, and they seem to be well received, and that the like ratio is good. In fact, and that it's basically universal. All the videos seem to do well. And so I think people like this feature, and you can see like I have it backlogged all the way up until December 12th right now. It has the every other day. In fact, you can preview them, like there's Princess Beach, the one that came out today. And then here is the ones after that if you want a preview of those things. It's not that big of a spoiler because it's literally content that's already out there, but just recut in little micro moments here. In fact, this right here is a highlight from yesterday's Halo stream that I just instantly, and that'll be a thing, is now that I'm making this a constant thing, there's moments like that where I will just be like, that's all right, that's a highlight. I'll just remember to edit that after I finish the stream and just know to include that and so on. But yeah, I'm happy with this thing. As far as audience submissions go, you pretty much just leave a comment. It's best not to leave a reply, because I read all the comments, but the comments are sorted chronologically by thread creation date. So if you make a new comment, then it's sorted to the top, and you can make that comment anywhere on my channel via any video, and they're all sorted to the top chronologically. But if you reply to an old comment, it does not bump it back to the top, so I might not see that. So don't reply to an old one, but you can just comment on any video, really, including this one. In fact, this is a good repository, since you're right here, of just any highlights that come to mind. And then you have stuff like this, where like this co-world moment that you guys will see again soon happened, and I credit them down here in the description as Splinter OOS and Jake Morrow both pointed out this moment, which is fun. This is an interesting highlight because both Bert and I had no idea that this was happening. So it's not one of those highlights where it's our reaction. It's this absurd thing happening on the screen that we didn't even know happened. So it's like it's the in this case the audience creating the highlight by noticing a great moment happening, and then I can go back and edit it into something decent and bring that back, and then we can have a little shared memory there. And I think the shared memory part's kind of neat because like I am a channel with just a buttload of content, just so much content all the time. It's hours and hours every day, and nobody is watching all of it because that's just not how any of it works. And I'm fine with that, because I build my content based around the idea that people segment off what particular stuff they watch. So like everybody has like their 1 or 2 playthroughs they watch, or they like to watch the highlights, or they like to watch the podcast. And like I'm serving all parts of my audience simultaneously, but each part of that audience is served by a different part of the content. Like there's a ton of people that don't care about Overwatch, but there's definitely a following for the Overwatch content, and so on and so forth. So like it's very fragmented in that way. Like it's like I'm kind of like a platform. Like if Netflix is constantly putting out like shows and movies, like you can be subscribed to Netflix, but you're not like watching everything on Netflix, for example. But it's a good community moment to sort of bring people together a little bit, because everyone's experience with the channel can be so fragmented that I think one of the cool things about highlights is that you can create these tiny clips that are like a minute long in most cases, and then a larger number of people can all watch that thing. So like you maybe didn't watch 70 episodes of Death Stranding, but you know about this one moment and so on. And then there's just like a certain like shared experience there. Like, and also sometimes it's just like, I just want to highlight moments because it's like maybe a particular playthrough isn't especially popular, or in like the case, like some of the Sonic stuff, like it's from really early on when we didn't have that much viewership, and it's all over on the Sad Games channel and so on. And so like oftentimes these are videos that don't have even 1,000 views, despite having been around for like 8 years in some case. And I can clip these little moments, and suddenly this one moment that for me feels like a big moment in my memory. Like there's moments where like me and Andrew or me and Bird or someone, like we have these shared memories that are like really the big memorable moments from Let's Playing and so on, but they're like buried in episode 20 of a not particularly super popular show or playthrough from some point. And so like if I just clip it out into a little video, I can just make it so that suddenly everybody knows what this is. And then it's like a sound bite, and then Andrew adds it. Andrew just added that fucking sound to his soundboard, apparently, along with Sacramento, California, and some other nonsense. I don't know. It just seems like I feel like the highlights have a value there, not just in like their ability to be like a thing people click on, but also just like they kind of like creates more shared memories throughout the community that people collectively know about. And then we don't sound like insane people when we refer to old events or certain things, because if there's a thing that we're especially likely to refer to, like in my playthroughs with Andrew or like my playthroughs with Stephanie or something, when we call back to a previous event in a previous playthrough, it's like, if it's a highlight, then more people will have known about it and so on. I don't know. I'm digging this. So yeah, if you want to suggest highlights, go ahead and just leave a comment on any video, really. You could leave it on the video that has the highlight moment in it, or you can leave the comment on this video or just wherever, as long as it's a new comment so it sorts to top, and you can potentially have your favorite highlight moments made into one of these little clips. I am currently backlogged up to December 12th with the most recent uploaded one. I'm going to be making more today, I think. Just kind of screwing around. This stuff brings me joy. I sit here and rewatch these ones over and over again. Like that's part of the thing. It's like the value here is that the clips stand on their own so well that I can go back and rewatch them over and over again, and those can be like a pick me up, kind of like that like Help clip from Zero Escape, like that I've watched too many times and is currently being used as my channel trailer, because what is a channel trailer for a Let's Play channel anyway? So yeah. As far as being helpful goes, you want to either go to the video that the highlight is on and then time code the moment in order to refer to that, and so I can know like what the highlight is supposed to be. Or you can leave a comment on this video just saying the name of the episode, and like you can try to just describe what happened, but it's often helpful if you can actually time code it for me, because I just, I'm making all this other content all the time, so I collectively don't really have time to like sit down and watch a half an hour episode, or even clicking through it, just trying to find where the highlight is. Sometimes people refer to like that one time that this thing happened in this game, and that's all they give me, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's in part 3, and then I click on part 3 and then I skip around. I'm like, nothing quite seems like it's surprisingly, it can be surprisingly time consuming and difficult to find a specific moment if you don't know where it is. So it's often best if the people who have the clearest memory of it help us along and point out where it is based on what they remember. And then, yeah, it might get used. No promises. I won't just automatically use every single suggested highlight. Ultimately, the biggest test is me, basically. Like, I just watch the moment when I find it, and if it gets a reaction out of me, then I'll probably use it as a highlight. And part of it comes down to, like, does it make sense? Like, can I make some kind of little video where this moment kind of inherently makes sense, or is it like a weird slow build up that like has tons of context that I can't really include very well. One of the more messy ones was probably the Princess Beach one, where I went back and found an old cutscene from earlier in the playthrough to give context to why something was funny, but that's difficult and not always possible. I think somebody suggested I think somebody was suggesting a Phoenix Wright clip, and maybe I was looking at the wrong part, but as far as I could tell, like, it was kind of just like the episode was a highlight to them, because I couldn't really find a particular moment that was like a big reaction, or especially funny moments, more so than just like the entire scenario. An episode long duration was a highlight, which is like that doesn't invalidate the positive experience that the viewer had with that thing, but it doesn't necessarily mean I can like clip it into like a little video that's easily shareable without like hours and hours of context in some cases. So yeah, it's an experiment. I'm having fun with it. I'm also spending way too long on some of these thumbnails because I insist on making a new thumbnail for each highlight that is not just the thumbnail that the playthrough had, and in some cases like redrawing the fucking avatar and all these nonsense. Like what is this? Yeah. Like I said here, this is the upcoming Halo one from like, that's going to come up on December 12th. Is like I spent all this time tracing over various things and trying to make like a colorful, contrasty avatar to put somewhere instead of just because I just didn't have enough to work with from what was given to me. I don't know. It's fun. And yeah, this brings joy to me because I get to rewatch these moments and have fun with them, but also seems to be bringing joy to the people that are watching them, and also like we get to all like know about that moment in Unity. So like when the really funny gravity deaths happen in Hellpoint, we can all know about that without necessarily having watched all of Hellpoint, for example. Yeah, that's good. So go ahead and leave your comments wherever you want. If you have particular highlights that you remember that you want to highlight in the future via one of these videos, there's no time limit. You don't have to do it like right now. I'm just kind of continually working this on the background. Is like every now and then between doing other things, if I just have like a moment, I'll just kind of like churn out a highlight real quick by just like just grabbing the video and cutting it down to the particular moment and then putting in there. And I'm adding all the comments as they pop up to a text document, and then like sifting through them later when I have the time to like check them and see what they are and so on. And some of this is fun because it's just, some of these situations are moments that I don't even remember, like that Silent Hill 2 one. I would have never thought to include that, because even when it was mentioned, I couldn't remember that happening. So like some of these moments kind of drop from my memory, but then I see the clip and I'm like, all right, yeah, yep. All right.